You ever think you've finally outrun your bad luck, just to find it sitting on your porch, sipping your last cold beer, waiting for you to come home? Yeah, that's how our story starts. And if you told me then that moving into our dream house would end up feeling like a war movie, minus the cool soundtrack and with way more paperwork, I'd have called you crazy. But here I am, telling you every gritty, stupid, unbelievable detail. Because what happened next? Well, let's just say, you couldn't script it if you tried. So picture this. We just moved in. Me, my wife, a heap of dreams, and more boxes than sense. The paint still smelled fresh. The grass was trying its best to look like a lawn, and for one hot second, I honestly believed our old chaos was behind us. That's the American dream, right? Except in my version, the villain doesn't wear a ski mask. She drives a white SUV, rocks a platinum helmet hairdo, and wields a clipboard like the sword of Damocles. First afternoon, sun blazing. I'm out front, wrestling with a busted garden hose. Suddenly, tires screech, gravel flies. This SUV fishtails to a stop right across my driveway. Out steps Karen. And listen, I know the jokes, but trust me, this was a capital K Karen. Clipped words, laser glare, makeup sharp enough to draw blood. She doesn't even say hello, just stares, jaw tight, and goes, "You don't belong here." Like she's the bouncer at some exclusive suburban club. She waves her clipboard around like it's a badge, says I've got 90 days to leave before she makes things difficult. Now, I'm not stupid. I know my rights. I checked the property lines 6 ways to Sunday before we bought the place. No HOA. County deed says so. But when Karen talks, even the air seems to flinch. She delivers her thread in front of a whole gallery of nosy neighbors, then leaves in a cloud of burning rubber and sanctimony. My wife steps out, towel in hand, looking like she just saw a ghost. "Feels like we just picked a fight with an army," she whispers. And I think she's right. I haven't even found the box with my socks, and somehow we're already at war. At first, nothing happens. But it's a heavy, loaded nothing. The kind that settles on your chest and waits for you to breathe wrong. Then the notes start. First one slipped under the door, stamped with some official-looking crest, accusing us of illegal landscaping. Which is hilarious because our landscaping at that point was mostly dirt and regrets. But the neighbors see it. Suddenly, the folks who waved when we moved in are snapping their curtains shut. A guy I've never met mutters "rules are rules" as he walks past. Another letter appears, nailed right to our garage door. Final warning. Somebody's watching from an SUV across the street. At night, I hear voices outside, flashlights scanning the yard. Routine HOA inspection, one of them says, as if that explains why they're prowling around at 11 p.m. But here's where things twist. The next letter isn't printed, it's handwritten. "You're not safe here. Leave." That one I keep. Because that's when it sinks in. This isn't about rules. It's about control. About fear. Every notice, every sideways glance, it all stacks up like bricks on my chest. And you know what? That's exactly how bullies work. Now, let me back up a sec. I'm not the rolling over type. So I start digging. County records, maps, zoning documents, the works. The clerk, old guy with a nose for trouble, looks up my address and grins. "Son, you're clean. Always have been. My lot was carved out years ago, never in the HOA. I leave with a stamped copy for my files. Then, just to make sure I'm not losing my mind, I swing by Pete's house. Pete's the retired machinist 3 doors down, tougher than nails, eyes that say he's seen everything twice. When I show him the fake violations, he just growls. Karen pulled the same crap on the Millers. Buried them in threats, fines, made up liens until they sold and left. She calls it compliance by pressure. That's the twist, right there. Turns out, it's not just me. Karen's been running her own little regime, and she's got help. Vince and Darren, 2 wannabe enforcers in reflective vests, no real jobs. Just goons with clipboards. Pete spits in the grass and warns me to watch my back. I head home, install cameras, tuck a voice recorder in the mailbox, and tell myself, if they want to fight, I'll give them one, with evidence. Takes 3 nights. Trail cam catches Vince and Darren planting wooden stakes along my property, each tagged expansion zone. My stomach drops. This isn't about me breaking rules. Karen's trying to redraw the lines, claim land that's not hers, and I'm the last holdout. Harassment ramps up. Dead air phone calls. Fake fines on my windshield. Trash cans knocked over. Eggs on the garage. Little things, steady as a drumbeat. But the real gut punch. My wife finds a photo on our porch. Our living room, taken through the window, her folding laundry in the background. That night, I sit by the window with a shotgun across my lap. Max, our shepherd, at my feet, both of us listening for footsteps. When the next attempt comes, I'm ready. Lights flip on, cameras rolling. Vince and Darren scatter, but not before I get their faces. I take the footage to Pete. He just shakes his head. They're trapped, you know. Karen's got dirt on half the neighborhood. That's why no one stands up to her. Blackmail's her real weapon. It's a sobering thought, but it hardens my resolve. My wife organizes all our evidence, sticky notes, tabs, color-coded. We've got fines, threats, trespass, surveillance. Pete adds his own pile, old meeting minutes, receipts, and, this is the kicker, a USB drive from old Jim across the way. On it, spreadsheets, maps, red-labeled lots, and at the bottom, our house, final holdout. 90 days. There's a name, too, Marcus. Now, the plot thickens. Karen isn't the end boss. She's the mid-level villain, working for someone bigger. Marcus is the money, the one with plans for the whole block. At the county office, I find a pending rezoning request on my lot, filed under JL, no name, just initials. But Pete's shoebox and Jim's USB fill in the blanks. Marcus is pulling the strings, bankrolling Karen, setting up for a major land grab. So, we make a move. Cameras everywhere. Paper trail meticulously organized. When Karen's crew tries to poison our pool, I get footage, receipts, even store security shots. Karen herself buying the chemicals. The binder grows thick, heavy with proof. We decide, no more shadows. We take it public. At the next HOA meeting, mandatory, Karen barking at the crowd. I walk up front, lawyer at my side. Projector on, USB loaded. Slide after slide. Trespass footage, receipts, spreadsheets, the works. Neighbors gasp, some whisper, some glare at Karen. She tries to shut me down, but my lawyer reads the law. I have the floor. The final piece is Pete, standing, voice shaking but loud. My daughter lost her home to this scam. You all remember. Suddenly, the room erupts. Everyone's got a story. Karen tries to regain control, but she's drowned out. Then the county investigators walk in, badges flashing. Karen's arrested on the spot, screaming, "I am the HOA," as they drag her out. By the next morning, the video is all over social media. Her little empire, gone. But here's the thing. Villains like Karen, they're replaceable. 2 days later, new mailers, new interim president, Tom Reynolds. Then the fines start again, signed by Tom, targeting a fence that isn't even on HOA land. My lawyer uncovers the deeper connection. Marcus Talbot, Regional Land Development Fund, big donor to Karen's re-election. Now running the show from the shadows. We keep digging. Pete's old notebook, Harris's police reports, even a voicemail from Karen, cursing about, Marcus says the last holdouts need to go. It's not just harassment, it's conspiracy. We hand it all to the state attorney. Marcus's name starts leaking. Reporters sniff around. Still, the pressure doesn't let up. A black SUV idles outside our house at night, mailbox tampered with. Then, federal inspectors show up at 2 a.m. with a crowbar and a fake vest. The sheriff arrives, runs them off. But the next day, the smear campaign begins, doctored photos online, anonymous blogs calling me a vigilante. The message is clear. If they can't scare us, they'll ruin us. But they underestimated the neighborhood. Harris, Pete, Callahan, everybody chips in. We gather evidence, file restraining orders, go public at a town hall packed to the rafters. County investigators lay out the timeline. Fake expansions, chemical sabotage, doctored records. Marcus tries to smooth talk. Karen breaks down. Both end up in handcuffs. When the judge slams the gavel, our property's officially recognized as outside the HOA. The neighbors cheer. Pete weeps. And just like that, the fear breaks. Karen's forgotten. Vince and Darren sentenced to community service. Marcus facing indictment. The county rips out the old HOA sign. New boundary markers go in, concrete deep as bedrock. We get our restitution check. My wife bakes a pie. Neighbors bring food, apologies, even a little hope. It feels almost normal. But you know how this goes. Villains with money never really leave. A letter arrives, slick and polite. Regional Land Development Fund. Partnership opportunities. Renderings of condos where our homes stand. The next week, unmarked trucks. More surveyors, more offers. At the community assembly, we vote. No sales, no external control, not without everyone's consent. Our own covenant, as strong as our backbone. The developer's offer goes straight to the binder. Marcus tries a softer approach. Letters, postcards, even a community vision forum. He sells dreams, promises riches. Pressure makes diamonds. We're not buying. Harris's son cracks the digital records, finds proof of tampered maps. When they try to sabotage our street, lights out, pool chemicals, broken phones, we record everything. This time, we take the fight to the county. Evidence piles up. A final meeting, courtroom packed. Karen and Marcus go down, not with a bang, but with a whimper. So that's it, right? Not quite. New leadership, new rules, but vigilance remains. The sign comes down, the fence goes up, and Max, good dog that he is, patrols the line every morning. Life settles. People wave again. Trust, slow as sap in winter, begins to flow. But sometimes, on those quiet nights when the crickets drown out even my wife's snoring, I remember Karen's final words. Marcus will bury you all. She meant it as a threat. I take it as a warning. Because justice isn't a one-and-done deal. Bullies collapse quick. Money plays the long game. But if you hold the line, if you stand, even when your knees shake, even when your neighbors look away, you remind the world, this is our home. Not for sale, not for fear. So, let me ask you, when's the last time you stood up for your corner of the world? When did you last call out a bully, big or small? Drop a comment, tell me your story. Was justice served, or did the money win? Because out here, the line between right and wrong isn't just on paper. It's in the way we stand together, or let ourselves be picked off one by one. And if you're fighting your own clipboard-wielding Karen, or your own shadowy Marcus, just know, you're not alone. And the binder's never far from reach.